If you want to mathematically 50x your chance of ad success whenever you launch a Facebook ad campaign, I'm going to run you through the exact system here to be able to do that, okay? So the very first thing to know here is actually that if you're new here, I'm Shoney and I've helped thousands of coaches scale with Facebook ads over the last decade, not by a one-size-fits-all system that every single coach uses, but instead 36 different ad frameworks that are perfectly suited to certain types of coaches in certain niches. We don't have that one size fits all because it does not exist. And if you've ever been sold that lie, then hopefully this channel debunks a good bit of that. Most coaches, whenever they stop boosting posts, they've been told don't boost posts. It's very unpredictable. Instead, you should go to Ads Manager. You should hit the green create button. You should go through every single step of creating a custom ad from scratch, and you're gonna love the outcome of that. Whenever you've been told to do that, what you will find is this is what you end up with, okay? One campaign going to one ad set, which for easiness of understanding is like your audiences and also where the ads are going to be seen. So who's going to see them and where are they going to be seen? And then you end up with over here, one ad, okay? So one campaign, that's the what. It's like I'm running a campaign to get people to opt into my lead magnet or my masterclass or my 5-day challenge or whatever it may be. In the middle, here's the who, so the ad set, who is getting to see your ad, and then over here is the ad itself, the images, the copy, videos, whatever it is, the thing that people are actually going to see in their newsfeed, okay? When you're in this position, you have one chance of finding a winner, okay? You have to hope that in this situation, the images that you chose, or the image that you chose, is the perfect image for your audience. You have to hope that your ad copy is effective. You have to hope that the placements that you chose were the right placements. You have to hope that the audience that you chose to actually see the advert is the right audience. You even have to hope that the campaign setup structure that you have at step 1 is set up correctly as well, okay? And so this is one chance of success. And here's the crazy thing, even if it's successful, let's say you're getting a 5x return on your ad spend with this simple system right here, which is very rare, but if it happens, you're in a position where you can't optimize any further. There isn't audiences that are better performing and lower performing. There isn't different campaigns. There isn't different pieces of ad creative that allow you to optimize for only the ones that are successful. Is that my cat chasing a bird? She went inside. I heard the bird like going away, and then I thought you looked over at it, but it's all good. But anyway, going into like how to make this much more successful. Okay, so with the Shoney 255 method, we already doubled the chances of finding a successful ad system by having 2 campaigns rather than 1. Now this is usually, let me change color here so that things stay nice and consistent. So this is going to be a warm campaign, and this is going to be a cold campaign. This is people who know who you are and people who don't know who you are. People who know who you are things like people who have followed you, visited your Instagram profile, visited your Facebook page, watched over 25% of any of your most recent 50 videos, visited your website or any funnels that have your pixel on it. There's a whole bunch of different things. We can do email lists, we can do loads of different stuff for that. The cold campaign is people who don't know who you are. We actually intentionally exclude the warm audience here so that the cold campaign is only being seen by people who have no idea who you are. So we're splitting them out, and you might say, why don't you just bundle them together? Why don't you bundle the cold campaigns and the warm campaign? Why don't you bundle them together, all the audiences? Well, there might be, for instance, this is mental. Anyway, there might be, for instance, let's say 50 mil audience. In your 5 audiences, as you'll see, you might actually have 10 million people in each of those audiences. Okay, if there's 50 mil here and your warm campaign only has 62,000 people, this is going to get dwarfed by this. That's step number 1. And so it's going to cost a lot more to get in front of these people. Facebook is also going to take into account 50 million and 62,000 people, and then Facebook is going to choose who gets to see the ads. Your warm audience, your vital warm audience, may never see your ads, okay? On top of that, Facebook optimizes for the lowest cost per lead, right? At least that's what they tell you, but I think they do for the most part. So they optimize for lowest cost per lead. Well, here's something that we know. If you don't know this, then this is something that you should know and expect when going into running ads. And I'm going to tell you why we accept this outcome. Warm audiences cost more. Cold audiences cost less. So this might be £3 per lead. This might be £2 per lead. If you had all of these bundled together, what you would end up with is Facebook allocating all of the budget to the cold campaign, to all of the cold audiences, because that is where the lowest cost leads are. However, the reason that we're happy to have an allocation of budget to the warm campaign, even though the cost per lead is higher, is because they of course come with higher intent. There are people who already know who you are. There are people who follow you on socials. They're on your email list. They've already visited your landing pages. They might have already booked calls with you before. This is well worth the premium of spending an extra 50% versus the cold campaign. Because the cold campaign, you might find, 1 in 100 people become clients, but up here it might be 1 in 25, which means that this could actually be much more lucrative, much higher returns than this campaign right here, okay? And if you bundled these together, Facebook wouldn't even care about that. They wouldn't think about it. They would only be thinking about this number. And where do we get the best cost per lead, okay? So you've already doubled your chance of success here. We haven't 50x'd your chance of success yet, but you've already doubled it. And at the same time, now we understand why warm audiences cost more and why we're willing to allow that to happen. Okay, your ad sets in the middle here. So we'll call this number 1. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, my circles are a little bit better than my writing. Marginally. So we've got 5 different ad sets, splitting out audiences rather than just bundling them all into one ad set. Here's why we want 5 different warm audiences and 5 different cold audiences. First of all, it increases our chances of success because we don't need all 5 audiences to be good. We only need one of them to be good, really. We only need to find one winner, right? If we can find a whole bunch of winners, then fantastic. If all 5 work, then this is a great thing. But imagine this situation. Let's say, imagine this is 1, because I'm going to talk about them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number 1 here, let's just say this is £1, euro, or dollar per lead. Let's say this one here is 150. Let's say this one here is 780. Let's say this one here is 98 pence or cents. And let's say that this one down here is 190, okay? With this, if Facebook has, sort of allocated budget relatively equally, you might end up in a position where the cost per lead here is somewhere around £3.42, right? That's your cost per lead. Well, in this scenario, all we need to do is, remember that I've got some different colors here to make this nice and entertaining. We can take that away with a red marker, okay? 780 per lead, we're not happy with it, we can take it away. Here's the disgusting thing. If you were running ads the way that 98-99% of people are running ads, 1, 1, 1, and this is the audience that you chose, you would have a cost per lead of 780 and you would have nowhere to go with your campaign. Instead, you can see that there's $1 leads here, 150, 780, 98 cents, 190, and you can say, okay, this one is the biggest and most disproportionately rubbish cost per lead, technical term. Score that out, turn it off. And it is as simple as actually turning it off. That's it. You don't need to do any work or manual stuff. There's no techie stuff involved. You flick the switch and you turn it off. It means all of the ad budget goes to 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. Okay, and you do the same with the warm campaign. We split it out into 5 specific audiences, and with the cold campaign, we have certain categories that we go through. I may actually do that for another video here, and might even record it straight after this actually. But in terms of the ads themselves, with every single ad set, you want at least 5 ads. Okay, and so with this, everybody else, the way they're running ads is there's just one ad, and it's either effective or it's not. okay? Whereas what you can do here, and there's two reasons that you're gonna do this, and I'll go through those in a second, is for each ad set, you're gonna have you're gonna have 5 ads, okay? There's two reasons once again. The exact same thing can be true here, where you have this right here. Let's just say that there was 30 leads that came in, okay? This one right here might be, let's say 15 leads, okay? 15 leads came in here, 5 leads came in here, 0 came in here, 0 came in here, and what did I say, 30? So 10 came in here, okay? And so sometimes there's two ways of looking at this. Again, this should be another video because it's quite a detailed thing. I know that I said here you look at cost per lead, which you do, but here sometimes you look at where the allocation of leads are occurring rather than the cost per lead specifically. Because as long as the cost per lead still works overall for the ad set, it's really just about finding the volume and allocating where the volume occurs, okay? And so 15 here, 5, 0, 0, and 10. And so we might just, again, this needs a video for this one, but we might just turn off both of these and we might start having only 3 ads running in this campaign, okay? However, there's a second thing that is really, really important to point out about why this is so effective. You don't opt in to the majority of the things that you have seen for the first time. You don't purchase things that you have seen for the first time from an ad. Sure, you might have done it before, but it doesn't usually happen. What usually happens is you see the thing, you read the ad, Facebook almost puts a check mark against you and says this person is interested in this thing, but they didn't do what the advertiser was looking for, which is leads. They didn't become a lead, they didn't opt in. So what are they gonna do? If it's a 1-1-1 campaign, Facebook is forced here to show the same ad to the same person over and over and over again. However, if you've got the Shoney 255 method here, and even in this case, when we've turned 2 of them off, they can show one of these 3 ads to re-engage the person. So they can show somebody an image-based ad, and then 3 hours later, they can show them a video, and 3 hours later, they can show them a testimonial image or a screenshot or a video or something along those lines to completely pattern interrupt again, okay? So it's not just that you can find winners and losers inside your testing of different ad types, as it were, but you can also take this even further, and Facebook can take all of these different images and videos that you've supplied them with, and they can re-engage people more easily to get more people to opt in. So this means that you can start with 50 variations, because it's 2 campaigns, 5 here and 5 here. It comes out at 50 variations in total. If you want it to go to 100, you merely just do 10 ads and you do 2 pieces of copy instead of 1. So if you want 100 times your chance of success, that's the easy way. But let's just say it's Shoney 255 method, 50 times your success. It's really, really simple. 2 campaigns, 5 audiences, and 5 ads. And then you optimize for the lowest cost per lead here. You optimize for the allocation of leads at this stage, and we would do this for you. If you were inside the private coaching, we do an ad review with you every 48 hours. We literally look at your ads and tell you what to turn off, what to turn on, what to add, how to do it, and why you're doing it so that you learn. But anyway, this really simple system allows you to start small with ad budget, find winners and losers, turn off the losers, and optimize only for where the lowest cost per lead is happening. So if you want to 50x your success with Facebook ads, the Shoney 255 method is the way. If you want to learn more about it, you can actually grab a free Facebook ads course below. It's in Kajabi. It's 5 videos or 6 videos that walks you through every single step. Campaign structure, how to choose your audiences, the different images and copy that's working, and we even give you templates. So you can grab that down below right now. And of course, if you've enjoyed this video, you got value from it, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz that YouTube loves, and I'll see you on the next video.